Hey, doll, where you's taking us? Oh, there it is, the sunshine and smell of fresh manure. This sun reminds me of the south of France. When I was a young woman, mon Dieu, what do you know about the south of France, old woman? Anyone remember to bring the suntan lotion? You're perfect the way you are, baby. Oy vey, is it so much to ask that you give me a little notice in advance? I didn't even put on lipstick. I don't even know if I own lipstick. I don't even know if I have lips. No, you don't. Hi, everybody. Cheryl and Lady coming to you from the Ladies' Garden and Home. And today we're going to be planting potatoes. What was she waiting for, me to grow myself? Yo, kid, you are slow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what do you think we are? Window dressing?
Yeah, nobody puts baby in a corner.
Bien, I am so bold.
What is planting potatoes? Now, personally, I prefer growing potatoes in these grow bags. I find them very easy to harvest out of. These still contain my Brussels sprouts, but these green grow bags, if you can see, have pockets on them. And quite honestly, I fell for the hype and they were not practical for me. When I went to harvest the potatoes, I opened up those flaps and it was very difficult to get all of the soil, which was a bit compacted, out of there. Made a mess on my deck. And I found last year when I did not use the little pouch and I just went in from the top and grabbed them, it was so much easier to harvest. So these bags, I had something else growing in them last year. I had tomatoes and some squash. So you can see I still have some soil in there, and I'm not going to dump it. I'm just simply going to refresh it with some fresh compost and a little bit of fertilizer. What you do is you start with about 4 inches of soil. It could be potting mix, it could be potting soil, some compost, and some fertilizer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of handfuls of fertilizer, and then I'll add the compost. And I'm just going to incorporate it in. Ooh. You know what that is, I think? I think that's a squash bug larva. It's going to be dead. Yep. Squash bugs got my squash last year. Yep. Look at this. Another one. Ugh. Stop squirming, you sick thing. Oh, that was ugly. Yeah. Got another one. How many are in here, for crying out loud? It's like a breeding ground. Ugh. All right, well, I'll spare you going through this, the rest of them, finding hopefully not too many more. But I pulled like 8 or 9 of them out of one bag. This is why you don't plant squash in the same place twice if you've had squash bugs. because they're little larvae over winter, and then they wreak havoc if you plant them in the same place. So a little bit about these potatoes. I talked in an earlier video about how I tried pricing out seed potatoes this year from the online, seed companies, and I found them extremely expensive, especially compared to last year. Well, so this year, and I had done it before, and quite honestly, I did a side-by-side comparison between the potatoes that I got that were organic from the supermarket and the ones that I purchased from an online retailer. And the yields were almost identical. So the reason that I chose the organic, though, and this is important if you're going to be growing from supermarket potatoes, is that they're not sprayed. You know that they're not going to be sprayed, and a lot of supermarket potatoes are sprayed to discourage the growth, the sprouting, so they can be shelf stable for longer. Now the thing is that the organics, if you ever buy organic potatoes, you know that they tend to sprout and you have to use them up quicker. I purchased 2 different kinds of potatoes, red and russet, and both bags were $5.99 for a 5-pound bag. The online retailers, I saw upwards of $20 for a 5-pound bag, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm sure that they are wonderful, delicious potatoes. I don't really need any kind of fancy types of potatoes. I just want them to taste good and serve them for dinner. So, all right, guys, you ready?
Just get on with it already. Excuse me, did I hear you say that I'm not fancy?
Well, at least we're organic.
When you put a potato in a cool, dark place, it can start to sprout. And the sprouts are usually whitish gray. So to chit them, which is what you do when you encourage the green sprouts to grow, you put them on a sunny window. I bought these in February. They started sprouting a few weeks later, and they've been sitting on the counter ever since today. So they are ready to get in the ground.
Oh, doggy, this is the most excited I've been since they invented French fries.
When you're planting potatoes, just keep in mind 4 inches, okay? You start with 4 inches of compost and potting mix, and you simply lay them with the sprouts facing up. I'm going to do the russets in here. And I think this bag is big enough to take 3. I'm going to do 3 in here. So as you can see, I planted these with the sprouts facing upwards. That's how they're going to grow inside the bag. And what we're going to do next is we're going to put another 4 inches of compost on top. Okay, I actually added about an inch of worm castings first because I happen to have a bag of it, and then another 3 inches of compost on top. So one other thing I wanted to mention, there are indeterminate potatoes and there are also determinate potatoes. What comes from a supermarket? I don't know. I read online that most of them, russet potatoes, are indeterminate, which means they grow indeterminately. Since I don't know whether this is indeterminate or determinate, I'm going to put compost on top after it's sprouted 4 inches. And when you see 4 inches of growth, go ahead and put more compost on top. Put another 4 inches to cover it. And then when you see another 4 inches of growth, do the same thing. Put more compost on top and cover it, because it will continue to bring out tubers like this to grow more potatoes if it's an indeterminate. Then when it gets to be about 4 inches over the grow bag, go ahead and stop and just let it grow from there. That's it. It's pretty easy, right? Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. You see this guy just sitting here in the middle of my garlic and beet bed? Well, this is where I had potatoes last year, and I must have forgotten to pull one of them, and it's growing me a potato plant. So that's exciting. Well, it looks like it's going to be raining soon, so I think I'm going to call it a day.
Hello, if you don't plant me today, I shall die of boredom.
Yeah, kind of like the people watching this video. Anyway, as you can see, it's not that difficult to plant and grow potatoes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. And I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I'll share with you some upcoming videos I'm doing on planting my tomatoes and planting my peppers, and we'll do a May garden tour soon. So hit the alert bell so you know when they're available. And from the Ladies Garden and Home, enjoy your gardening journey. Bye! Say goodbye, ladies.